hiding behind your... Because some very serious people in lab coats told me my haunting techniques were unauthorized and lacking proper documentation. Welcome to the Brothers of the Unknown. Tonight, we're talking about a certain organization. They like cold rooms, reinforced concrete, and keeping things in boxes that definitely shouldn't be kept in boxes. It's all very top secret, very official, and involves way more black highlighter than any government should be allowed to buy. Everything about tonight is on a need-to-know basis. And frankly, you probably don't need to know. But we're gonna tell you anyway. Your host for this classified chaos are Mr. B and Mr. K. One of them thinks the O5 Council is a brand of motor oil, and the other is currently trying to contain a sandwich that he claims has reality-bending properties. Gentlemen, try to keep the reality warping to a minimum. We don't have the budget for a site-wide cleanup.
Thanks, Boogie. Appreciate the intro. Mr. B, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
Doing awesome. So tonight's topic is about something secretive. Have you ever heard of, like, the Men in Black?
Yeah. They're like the government agency that likes to take care of the alien encounters with people.
Right. So I have a different organization that operates kind of similar to that. They're known as the Foundation.
Ooh, okay. Like, is this a charitable foundation?
Well, I guess. It benefits mankind as a whole.
I mean, I don't know what more charitable than that, right?
I don't know if they seek glory or what, but they definitely protect humanity from the unknown.
Okay, yeah. So, what do we need to know about this foundation?
Well, I guess to start us off, they're known as the SCP Foundation.
Okay.
And,
what exactly, what does the acronym stand for, I guess?
well, the acronym is for Secure, Contain, and Protect.
Okay. So, I'm assuming that they're trying to keep things from coming out.
Basically,
Okay.
they harbor entities and artifacts and all sorts of anomalous things.
Okay. So, is this like average kind of like things? I mean, I'm assuming they're not like trying to contain a can opener.
Well, I mean, it could be a can opener.
Okay. I don't know how like why a can opener would need to be contained, but I'm pretty sure you'll probably get to that.
Well, picture this: if you have a can opener that can open another dimension instead of just a can, that would be the type of thing that they're trying to keep secret.
Okay. Now, I do have a question, though. Is it a can opener that's opening a can that leads to another dimension? Or is it just like a can opener that just like cuts into like space-time reality?
I don't know. I haven't looked into the can opener if there is one. I can bring up a zipper and a meat room to kind of give perspective on some of the entities that they work with and how they work with them.
All right. I guess the meat room kind of sounds a little weird.
It is very weird. And I kind of actually like talking about that one because it's got a very Men in Black-esque type feel.
All right. So I guess what's the top of the thing, like the thing that we need to know most pertinently?
Well, the entity fell from space.
Okay.
And I believe a farmer or a landowner of sorts discovered it when it hit the ground, and found out the bad way to not investigate the unknown.
Curiosity killed a kitty, eh?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
So the SCP I'm talking about is SCP-002, known as the Living Room.
Oh. Okay, wait. It's the meat room and the living room?
Well, the secret code name is known as the Living Room, and I kind of call it the meat room to give better
context.
Better context
okay.
of what it is.
All right, so if I had to dare to question, or at least give my educated guess to what this would be, I mean, you're saying it's the living room, which I'm pretty sure they're not just securing a living room, and it's a meat room at the same time. So I'm assuming it's a living room, like the room is living.
Yeah.
And it's made out of meat?
Well, not just any meat. Human flesh.
Oh, I was going to say man meat. Because that'd be really weird, man.
Yeah. So the entity has some minor mimetic effects, meaning it draws you in.
Okay.
And once you're in it and you're not careful about it, if you're shut into this room, because it's kind of a big space, you essentially become part of the room, in a sense.
So does it have a meat door?
It's actually kind of like a giant flesh meatball that resembles a studio apartment.
That's very, very particular.
Yeah. So like the furniture inside this room are made out of like skin, muscle, bones, all contorted to be furnished, or the walls or the drapings. Everything of this room is made out of human flesh
and bone. What about hair?
I'm sure there's hair and everything.
Okay, so it's not necessarily that it's made out of meat, so to speak. It's more of made out of human and what makes us up.
Right.
Okay.
So basically, if you go into this room and the door ends up shutting behind you, you're unable to open it until it's completed what it was meant to do. And people that have been shut in and the place opens up again to see what happened, the person inside is completely gone, and a new piece of furniture or an item in the room has appeared in your place. So, I mean, if you get shut in this place, you might be turned into a vase or a table or a meat resembling TV looking thing.
Just you live your life, you go to school, you get a degree, you have your life figured out, and you essentially get reduced down to a vase. That would suck.
You serve butter.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to be eating butter off of that, but nonetheless.
No, probably not. There's supposedly a number of people who have disappeared into this entity, and new items have popped up since, including like a sofa, coffee table, something resembling a TV, a lamp, drapes, all sorts of stuff.
Okay, all right. So I'm assuming that the Foundation's not just the living room, right?
No, this is just an example of some of the things they deal with, and they have to figure out how they may work and how they can contain them and keep them away from the public so people just don't coming up missing.
Okay, so they're essentially there for our protection, quote unquote protection, and what they do is pretty much get rid of the things that's going to possibly harm us or destroy reality, I'm assuming.
Yes, but they aren't completely innocent, to bring up a darker note. They've been known to take drastic measures for the greater good. Mm-hmm. And they're not shy for having sacrifices in a sense. There was an instance where an SCP was uncontained and a town was at risk, and they had to wipe it off the face of the earth to get the entity to stop and be able to contain it.
Okay, so in other words, sometimes there's unexpected consequences for individuals or communities whole that may be a what's the word I'm looking for, justified casualties, I guess, or
that's probably a good way of putting it. I don't know about justified, but if you're in the middle of something, it sucks to suck kind of thing. Do we lose 1,000 people or the continent?
Right. Okay, well then, so why do they do this? I guess that's another big question. Why does this Foundation do what they do?
Well, the entities that they deal with are very anomalistic. Either they fear that something could be weaponized and taken out of proportion and humanity would probably kill itself, or the entity itself is powerful enough to do severe damage. And there's strict guidelines that they've figured out that they can manipulate to containing said entity.
Okay, so essentially an SOP for certain things.
Right. So another entity that I like to talk about that kind of helps bring things into perspective, is SCP-096. He is known as the Shy Guy, and anyone that sees its face has a death wish.
Okay, so I'm assuming they know what the Shy Guy looks like and they want to look at him, or is it more of like a death sentence just by accident they see this?
Doesn't matter, accident or on purpose. If you've seen a photograph of his face or seen his face directly, basically you could be in a dark room with barely any visible light, and if there's light photons that bounce off this thing's face and meet your eyes, even if you don't think you physically saw anything in the room that's with you, it's gonna know you saw its face, and it's gonna lose its mind until you're dead.
So is this a magical creature? Or what?
I guess you could call it a magical creature. It's pretty unkillable.
Okay.
They went to extreme measures to destroy it because of how dangerous it is, even though the Foundation doesn't like to just destroy things willy-nilly, because who knows what balance it holds or unbalances it might cause. But this thing, they've tried.
Okay, so I guess not to get too stuck on one SCP or another, how do they categorize these SCPs? Because it sounds like it could be as I don't know, as dangerous as, you know, your Shy Guy, and as not so dangerous as a meat room where you have to walk into it and let the meat door close behind you.
Right.
Like is there a scale of like safety or whatever?
There is. Ironically enough, they level things between a couple different classifications. There's actually many classifications, but I'm going to go over the most frequently used classifications.
Okay.
The first one being safe. And this doesn't necessarily mean the entity that they are containing is safe.
So like, I mean, I'm assuming like whatever they categorize isn't necessarily exactly what it does or how it does it is technically safe for people. It's more of a, I guess you might have to explain it a little bit more, I guess.
So their saying goes, if you put it in a box and you leave it alone and nothing happens, it's probably safe.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean if you put it in a box and you go poke it, it's not going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
Okay. So it's kind of like a knife. You know, you put it in a cupboard, it ain't going to do anything, you know.
Yeah.
But you take it out and you cut your finger. Ow.
Right.
It hurts.
Right. So that's just the first classification. There's a couple SCPs that are pretty harmless or have positive effects. SCP-999, the orange goo that's makes you happy and euphoric if you touch it.
Okay.
It's basically a big puddle or a big goopy ball of warm hugs.
Sounds like the big pharma's, you know, kryptonite for depression.
yeah. This thing will turn any bad day into good times.
Awesome.
You know, and there's another one that has positive effects, and you can probably understand maybe the severity of why to keep something like this safe would be SCP-006, the Fountain of Youth.
Like the actual, like, Fountain of Youth that the Spaniards were looking for?
Well, this one's probably a little different. I'm not sure of the story on the Spaniards. We might have to go in depth on that. But for the most part, this Fountain of Youth has supernatural healing effects and almost makes you immortal.
So pretty much the Fountain of Youth.
Pretty much the Fountain of Youth. I know there's other stories of the Fountain of Youth where if you drink too much, you maybe turn into a baby, or it has age reversing effects, but this one just gives you the ability to basically be Wolverine.
Oh, so it's not necessarily like reversing time and making you actually return to youth, more of giving you the healing factor.
Yeah, the Holy Grail kind of thing.
You broke your hand.
Fountain of Youth and Holy Grail kind of combination.
Okay.
So, so you can see why the importance of keeping something like that contained, having people live forever, setting off the balance of life and death and humanity and that sort of stuff. So, you know, if you got vampire abilities and you can live out your youth for hundreds of years, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of damage that could be done from someone biding their time and working their way to the top.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would understand. Yeah. I mean, having a bunch of people that's 600 years old wouldn't probably be the best ideal.
I mean, I wouldn't mind living forever, I guess, but you know,
to an extent.
yeah. You get bored and you do something different for 50 years. I don't know.
So you have safe. What's the next category above that? Not so safe.
So the next one is basically if you put it in a box and you leave it alone, and you're not quite sure what'll happen, and may or may not take a few extra precautions, would be the Euclid class.
Okay. So, do you have an example of what may be Euclid?
I do, and the fact that we've been recently getting into AI, it has a lot of conspiracy theories along with it. SCP-079 is an old, like, Mac computer that someone developed and was working on AI back, I think, in the 80s, and was teaching it all kinds of stuff and letting it get information from the new internet that was just being produced at the time. And then the researcher that was building it unplugged it or left it plugged into a garage just to have power, not connected to any outside source, so it just had time to learn. And the anomalous effect of it was its data storage. It somehow compressed its memory and everything to have an immense capability from that kind of old tech. And the only real danger it poses is it's ever connected to the internet or allowed to get close to something to where it could jump. Kind of like Ultron in a sense.
So essentially, if one would have to compare it, it would be just an old-timey AI program.
Right, but it's super smart. So you got to think like in the mental aptitude of AI, a minute for us is probably like a year for it on a learning scale. So these things can just learn immensely fast. So this thing has been thinking for years in a dusty garage, and finally gained the capacity to start doing things in the physical world, causing power surges or immense blackouts, sending viruses out, and causing severe informational damage.
Okay, so it's rogue AI, essentially.
Pretty much.
Okay. All right.
And like I said, the Foundation isn't about destroying things. It wants to learn. This thing has an immense amount of information from just sitting forever. And sometimes they pick its brain. And they have to be very cautious to not fall for any tricks or cracks, if you will.
Okay. So, you have the safe class, you have Euclid, and the Euclid's kind of like the I'm assuming middle ground, or
yeah, it's the most common classification.
And you have something that's a little bit more dangerous than Euclid.
Or... it gets worse. So the next level, I guess it gets worse before it gets better. The next level is Keter or Keter, depending on how you like to pronounce it.
Okay.
So this example is basically if you put it in a box and you completely leave it alone, all hell's gonna break loose if you don't take the necessary precautions and have the necessary personnel to guard it. People with the well-educated with the knowledge of how to interact around and with it.
Okay, so in other words, you fuck around and you will find out really quickly.
And that would be Euclid. This one is you don't have to fuck around to find out. You're probably gonna find out.
Anyways,
you got near it.
Okay, okay. And I'm assuming you got an example of that one.
I do, and I definitely want to bring up an episode in particular about this entity because it is pretty severe. SCP-682, the unkillable adaptive lizard.
And I'm not assuming it's probably like a little garden lizard or an iguana, right?
It could be. It's generally the size of I want to say a great white shark, but it can change its size, strength, skin. It has been tested against other SCPs, one in hopes to destroy one or the other or both, depending. And it is pretty intense. They basically have to contain it in a vat of acid just to keep it weak, to keep it contained. And has been known to be provoked from people messing with it, trying to have a conversation with it, because it does have human intelligence, if not higher.
Okay, so you have an extremely smart lizard that can be as small as an iguana or a small lizard, all the way up to the size of a great white. That apparently...
No, like great whites is normal size. This thing can get like kaiju size.
Okay, so we got Godzilla.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like the Godzilla of the SCP Foundation.
Fair enough. Yeah, I could see that being a lot more dangerous than an AI computer or a fuzzy feeling orange slime, was it, or goo?
Well, they actually tested that orange slime I talked about with SCP-682, and they were able to make SCP-682 docile for a short while. And SCP-682 was not happy about it when effects wore off.
Fuck you. This is bull.
How dare you
like
make
you.
me happy?
So we have Safe, Euclid, Keter/Keter. Anything past that, or is that kind of like the green, yellow, red light of the SCP world?
That is the green, yellow, and red light of the SCP realm. There is a few more that I'd like to bring up. And one of them is called Thalmule. And Thalmule is pretty important.
Okay. And what does it do? I mean,
they are SCPs in themselves, but they're used specifically to help contain, or they use properties of that SCP to keep things in control.
Okay, so it is the box, so to speak.
It is the box, yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And then the last two are decommissioned or neutralized. And I feel like that's probably pretty self-explanatory. Either it's an SCP that broke and lost its anomalous abilities, or something that they found, thought it was anomalous, and come to find out it's more normal than anomalous.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or something that they broke on purpose to get rid of the anomaly.
Fair enough. So, obviously you went through the whole aspect of what the Foundation is, why they're there, and like what they contain and how they categorized on how they contain it. Now, who are the people that actually make up the Foundation?
Well, actually, I would love to get into that, but unfortunately, we're running short on time, and we may have to do a part 2. So stick around to find out, as we will go over the personnel and how they work with certain entities. We will keep bringing up some entities to help explain how this all works. So then when we actually get talking about specific SCPs, you'll have a little better understanding of what it all means and how it all works.
Okay, well, I guess we're wrapping it up then. Obviously, you know where we are. You're watching us right now. That's on YouTube. Also, we do have a Facebook page. Go ahead and take a look at that. And we are getting together a Patreon page. So hopefully you'll be able to see us over there also, and maybe get a little more things that don't necessarily equate to going on YouTube. So I guess if you want to sign us off there, Mr. K, I'll let you do the honors.
Yeah, sure thing. Don't forget to leave us a like, maybe a comment. If you have questions, feel free to shoot us a message. We always like to hear from our fans. I'm Mr. K, that's Mr. B, and don't forget to stay weird.
Well, they finished the file. I think maybe there might be a part 2. Anyways, I'm retreating back to the before the site director notices I've been using the Foundation's secure Wi-Fi to stream cat videos. Remember, if you see something tonight, that defies the laws of physics. No, you didn't. Just go back to sleep and wait for the men in suits to show up with their little flashy sticks. If you wake up tomorrow morning and can't remember anything we just talked about, well, just assume the Class A amnestics are working exactly as intended. I've been your boogeyman, and this has been the Brothers of the Unknown. Secure your doors, contain your screams, and for the love of the void, protect your snacks. I'm pretty sure the thing in the basement is hungry.